Hello, everybody. Welcome to another dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, blogger site, and on Patreon for access support. And any kind of news and updates, I usually go about on Twitter X. And later today, we will getting another Midnight Suns episode. Again, to reiterate, my schedule for now is maintaining one episode per day, except for Sunday, given it is my day off. And yeah, just a quick reminder that I have all my completed gameplay series here also on the main page of the channel. And yeah, basically that's it. Let's go to the news. Not much happening, but some interesting tidbits here. Seemingly, at least the MSI 800 series boards feature an extra 8 PCI E power connector, supposedly for GPUs, which is interesting here on the bottom. Supposedly, this one is to deliver one at least an extra 150 watts to the PCI board. I will assume this one, uh, given that the PCI Express slot already managed to deliver around 75 watts. I've been thinking about it since I saw this. I will assume this is to mitigate to a certain extent the power delivery of the 12-volt power pin, mainly because we saw the majority, if not the majority, yes, of all the burn connectors that we saw are being from the 4090 GPUs. It's still an ongoing issue. I still see from time to time on my YouTube feed some channels of repair shops that still continue to receive at least a handful of 4090s, at least per month, at least at my perception, per month, at least a handful of 4090s to replace the the, the connector there. And this is, I think, because the 12-volt power pin, given that it has to deliver around maximum 600 uh, wattage there, and I think the 4090 can reach peaks of that. I think that's one of the reasons they are introducing this extra PCI sorry oh my god, PCI connector to deliver 150 watts to mitigate the power delivery of the 12-volt power pin to around 450. So in conjunction can deliver between the 600 watt power to 675, taking in account that I assume the PCI connector can't handle this amount of power, so around 225 watts. And I also not sure if with these new motherboards there is the possibility of like entry level GPUs that are around 200 watt power. I'm not sure how many are there currently on the market, but I don't know if there is a possibility of trying to replace at least one of the on the adapter side of things, like try to mitigate that 600 watt power delivery through the PCI connector there. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure it's something that was thought through to introduce this new PCI connector. I will assume this is not mandatory to have this plugged into the motherboard. Hopefully not. But I don't know. Given that again on the PCI connectors on the for the CPU stuff there, which is connected to the board, usually you need to connect those because again, you have the CPU there that it's being powered through the motherboard. Uh, Hopefully it's not mandatory, but I tend to see that probably it is better to plug it in just in case of a peak power demand from the GPU itself. Um, I covered yesterday, for example, the 8800 XT. We know that it's around 280 watts, around at least the leaked specification. So I will assume lower end GPUs don't consume that much power. Again, I don't know, but on the top of my head, TDPs from GPUs. But yeah, I think that might be a consideration. Them launching like the entry level, like let's say the 5060 from Nvidia, or probably the 8600 from AMD, and probably with the new Battle Mage, the lower end ones might not come with a PC. Uh, doesn't make a lot of sense not coming with the PCI connector there for the power delivery there, because this is at the moment exclusive for the 800 series motherboards. But yeah, I'm not sure what the philosophy of the designing this is. We don't have a lot of information. This is was noticed again by Cal Coatland, but there is no a lot of explanation regarding this. They say that it's for next gen GPUs, but supposedly it's intended for multi GPU clusters. Again, I'm not sure what the situation here. I hope we get more information soon. Given this, the new 800 series motherboards will come out next year, so a little bit more information of application use of this PCI connector and when it should be connected. If you buy one of these motherboards, some information will be appreciated. But yeah, very interesting what these guys found here. But yeah, it come to mind the fact that the 12-volt power pin, I think the 600-watt powers for that connector is too much, at least with the design that it is at this moment in time. I think 450 still is a little bit too much, given that the PCI 8 connectors deliver 150 each, and they have like bigger physical connectivity there. And the 12-volt power pin is it's the equivalent of a 10 pin plug, the size there, and to deliver that amount of extra power for a small that small of physical connector there. I think it's one of the main issues regarding the 12-volt power pin. Hopefully AMD still doesn't adopt this connector there, even though I think I heard some rumblings they might introduce this on the 8000 series. Again, I didn't see any confirmation or any leaks regarding this kind of information, but yeah, give me did this give me a little bit of thoughts regarding that, and the fact that these new motherboards, at least this higher end, they have like a quick switch connector to disengage the GPU. I think you can see it here. You see it here like a small button, which is to disengage the GPU. So a easier disconnect mechanism there, which that is appreciated because it's a little bit higher than the GPU itself. It can be a little bit of a tricky thing to do with the motherboards that we have at this moment in time. But yeah, this is what I got in terms of hardware or industry stuff there. In terms of games, again, yesterday I saw this tweet here. Again, according to Game Science, it's a little bit of overwhelming. Selling 10 million copies across all platforms in basically 3 days. I don't know about that. Hope again, I hope they are not rounding too much the numbers there. But if this is true, this is huge record number. And the fact that they had 3 million concurrent players across all platforms also throughout these 3 days, in terms of concurrent players, not total players. Um, Steam alone was around 2.4, the latest number that I had, like peak concurrent players, plus around 700,000 through consoles. Again, it's an achievable number. Um, and and also similarly in China, PS5s are selling out because people want to play. People don't have a PC or something like that. They just want to play it on PlayStation, and it's getting out of stock everywhere in China, because people supposedly want to play this game. At least that's one of the news that I saw there. But yeah, interesting that if there is 10 million copies sold, it's an I think it's yeah, it's, surpassing industry records. I think no game ever sold this much in terms of sales in such a short period of time there. Elden Ring came out 2 years ago. They sold 25 million copies. Even like big number, big games that sell a lot, they usually for 10 million copies it takes at least a few months. I remember also seeing, for example, Dragon's Dogma 2 sold 3 million copies in 2 or 3 months also. So this is a huge number. Hopefully this can be confirmed independently. Again, this is coming from them themselves. Take it as it is. But yeah, very good to see that all this being true. This is a huge success. Again, 10 million copies at $60, 600, more than $500 million in sales. Again, then you have to take into account the cuts and everything. But it's a for a small studio, I think this is a huge win, and again demonstrates that there is interest in good games and games that are not DEI infested there. Talking about that, we got two companies that are partnering up. They're not in a good position at this moment in time, which is Intel and Ubisoft. They are using the game bundle stuff there. Intel is doing the thing with the Assassin's Creed Shadows. Again, for eligible laptops or anything that has a CPU or a GPU from Intel, can get a copy of the Assassin's Creed Shadows. And with that, I'm not sure with this game bundle stuff there. I will assume that this counts as a unit sold, and if it's so, again, that's why I think we had a lot of good sales, for example, for Starfield, which was a game bundle with AMD. I think it is because I think when I bought my GPU, that game bundle was on sale, even though in my region was not eligible for to claim that game code there. But yeah, I will assume that this game bundles, when sold and claimed, it will count as a unit sold. At least makes sense, at least for internal numbers, and for them to do a good PR. At least that's my perception, and that will count also for Black Myth Wukong. I think there is a game bundle with some RTX GPUs. I think that there is a game bundle there. I'm not sure it's still active, but yeah, I was thinking about that. But yeah, if you and at least I think Intel is going to continue from time to time doing this in the next 21 days. We'll have to see. Again, this starts today. And again, Intel Core processors and hard discrete GPUs, again, they will receive a copy if eligible on the, at least regarding all these um, time zones, and not time zones, sorry, on the zone, depending on where you bought it, you can claim that. I'm not sure how that works in terms of claiming this. I will assume the where you bought it, and if it is illegible, you get the instructions to claim this thing. But yeah, Intel not in good shape, and the fact that they are doing a game bundle with Assassin's Creed Shadow by itself, it's a little bit funny there. We got also an interview with Avowed art director and production director. And the interview, it came around again the thing with the target frame rate for these games. Again, Microsoft is got this also with Starfield with 30 frames per second across the board. Again, the fact that Microsoft has the Xbox Series X, I think the lower version there, it's getting a little bit in the way of developing games for them, because they have to cater to that lower end console, which stifles a little bit the performance in terms, at least comparatively with the Series X, so the higher end one. Yeah, and again, with that, I will assume they have to justify targeting basically 40 frames across the board. They didn't say, and the fact that they say you don't necessarily need 60 frames per second for a game like this. Again, the same thing was said with Starfield. It's bullshit, given that people at this point in time with the new consoles and with the average entry point of PC, people really expect at least 60 frames per second, independent of the resolution they are playing there. And I think this is getting a little bit, um, I don't know. This doesn't look good because it seems that they cannot to make any kind of achieve any kind of good performance there. It seems that the game is not very well. How do I say it? That doesn't perform that well. It's not very well optimized for the platforms there. Hopefully, at least on PC, we have the options to unlock frame rates and all that jazz. On the interview, they went about it also regarding the ending stuff. Supposedly, they already have 50 variations of players to encounter those 50 endings. Again, taking into account macro and micro endings. Again, I don't know what they're talking about here. Again, basically, this is it's part of the Pillars of Eternity IP. Even though I think in terms of getting some more context of the world of the vow, people kind of need to play or at least be aware of Pillars of Eternity um, IP. Even though Avowed is kind of self-contained in that sense, so it doesn't mess up with the main games, so the Pillars of Eternity there. But yeah, and they went also again. Supposedly the video is around 30 minutes. They went about the delays, which have been some of them. They also. I think the first trailer that they showed, people didn't like very well the art direction they were taking to, and basically I think they had to delay to change, touch up a little bit the art direction there, and then the world building and trying to make it seem as dense and populated as possible. Again, I think this also the fact that this kind of games usually had a lot of NPCs and a lot of things happening there. They have to limit a little bit the FPS because of the performance of the consoles themselves. Are not very well suited for this kind of huge open worlds with a lot of dense population from enemies or NPCs. But yeah, um, we'll see how this goes, how this fares in terms of reviews and the such. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out. Which here doesn't. I'm not sure when this game comes out. I don't. I think it's next year, if not mistaken. Uh, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see for reviews here. Then we got some Concord stuff here. I was not aware that supposedly launched yesterday. And it's again, it's dead on arrival. Everybody that has two eyes and a couple of brain cells to rub together already knew that this is going to happen, or most likely scenario. Even though they had the good numbers for the early bet, at least early access, which was in the middle of July, around 1,000 players, and then when they opened the beta there, it decreased to around to 2,300 there. But yeah. Um, and the exact opposite occurred in PlayStation. Players in open beta declined compared to early access beta, around a decrease of around 8%, which is something there. But yeah, yesterday it seems that I confirmed this. The numbers are still correct. I'm not sure if it is because of this that lower of a number there. The graph is not showing up yet, and that there is this kind of they are not the same. Supposedly there should be 697 with even 24-hour peaks, because all-time peak again, this number is not the correct one. I don't know if it is because it has so much of a lower number count there. I don't know if it has something to do with the 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 thing not showing up correctly there, at least for the moment being. But yeah, it's a shit show. Again, it's not selling well. Supposedly, on I think this is the PlayStation stuff there. It's sixth place best selling. Again, I don't know how true this is. Given that PlayStation keep their numbers very close to the chest, unless again they are outperforming very well. Again, Concord was in 8 years in development, which is by itself a long time period. Taking into account any kind of games that you are developing, 8 years is a long time. And I think the budget is between 50 to $150 million in terms of game development budget, which is it's a lot for what it tries to be there. Yeah, and then we got all the stories with the director of IP, the fact that they don't care about the feedback that they were receiving, especially from the trailers and the characters showcased there. They just didn't give a crap. Didn't they thought they were on the right track? And yeah, basically they only got 700 people as a peak, not concurrent, all-time peak, which is not that good. Oh, and hopefully tomorrow or something like that we have better numbers from the launch time of this game. But yeah, this does not look good. Again, I don't know where the modern audiences went there, but I think they are broke and cannot pay for the game. At least that's my perception there. Then we got another thing. I only noticed this today. It seems that Skull and Bones finally came to Steam a couple of days ago. I think this game has been out since, I don't know, March, April, something like that. And it opened up on Steam with already 60% off on all editions. Again, already a mixed review here. Yeah, this game is also not good for the quadruple A game. Again, I just only bring this because of how Ubisoft is delusional in every sense of the way. Again, the quadruple A game, 60% off, mixed reviews. Again, it's been only a couple of days, so not a lot of information is here. But again, in terms of players here, 1,000 maximum players. At least that's the numbers here on the Steam DB here. Again, this is not a good game for all intents and purposes. Again, I don't recommend. Again, from all the videos that I've been seeing, this doesn't look good. Might as well play Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think you will get a better experience out of it. But yeah, basically this is in terms of news. I'm just going through some gaming deals, starting off with the free games. We got the Callisto Protocol is for free at this moment until the 29th. I managed to, in the meantime, claim it, download it. And when I have time, I will start recording some episodes and make a series out of it. I think I will have a good experience. From the early testing that I did here for my machine with the settings, it seems that I can do 4K above 650, 6 FPS with basically everything put on max. At least that's my perception from the settings. I just went 5 minutes tweaking around the settings, and I think I can manage that. I need to put the MSI Afterburn and see how it fares, at least with a benchmark there. But yeah, I will probably in the upcoming weeks will come up and start publishing also the Callisto Protocol gaming series there. On Steam, we don't have a lot of games on sale at this moment, so I will be repeating some of them from yesterday. So Jusant, 45% off. We got Lords of the Fallen, 55% off on the deluxe edition. We got Void Bastards, 70% off. Again, as usual, stamp of approval from my end. I already did a gameplay series on this game. If you're not sure if this game is for you, you might check the first couple episodes and you get a good sense of what this game is all about. And lastly, from Steam, we got Blasphemous, the first game. Again, if not sure if this game is for you, kind of Metroidvania, pixel graphic, Souls-like style combat, you have the demo here, and the game is 75% off. On GOG, we got the BioShock trilogy, around 2 days still. The offer here, 75% off, remastered version. BioShock 2, the same thing, remastered version, 85% off. In this one as the DLC, which Minerva's Den, and then BioShock Infinite. This is the complete edition, 80% off. It got the Barely at Sea DLC there. We got also Prey, 75% off, and you can stick with the standard edition if you don't want to take a chance on the DLC here, but it's got also my stamp of approval, given that they already also did a gameplay series on this game. Again, first couple episodes you'll get a sense of what this game is all about. It's an immersive first-person shooter, immersive sim, and I really did enjoy it. Even though it's got some technical issues, nothing that big or game breaking or something like that. But again, this is a 2017 game. It's a little bit older for today's standards, let's say, but yeah, still pretty good. The mechanics there are pretty good, and yeah, it's a recommendation from me. And then we can wrap up with some Wolfenstein games. We got Wolfenstein the 2 pack, so it's got the Old Blood and the New Order. It's 75% off, and then the sequel, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, 85% off. This is the digital deluxe edition. It's got all the DLC there, and basically these are the free games worth buying from the soft reboot from Wolfenstein there. But yeah, I will wrap up for today with a plug on my Patreon as usual. The extra support from here, it's more in line for me to try and get around a better storage solution, so I can have backups for stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, hope you have a wonderful day. Now we'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.